What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So version 0.822 has just released, and this update includes a lot of balance changes. So I'll go over the ones that I know for a fact have been implemented. Swordwrath got a health nerf from 90 to 80. Spiriton's got a health and damage buff from 400 to 450 and from 9 to 10 damage plus 5 light. Mary's got a health nerf from 250 to 200. And I think that's all I can think of. I don't think anything else is different here. Yeah, no, not really. Unfortunately, mass heal is still broken. Now, the two updates that I want to focus on the most are what's been done to generals. So generals have been confirmed to no longer be affected by stun, so they are immune to stun now. That was stated in the past, but it turned out to not be true, but I do think that this time they did 100% make generals invulnerable to stun, and I think that's fair. Then they set the timer from when a general gets defeated to 30 seconds. So no matter what general you have, when they get defeated, they will return after 30 seconds, and I believe that applies to all generals. Then we had two of them that got buffed. The first one here I'm extremely happy about is Atreyos. After he got destroyed with the 200 health nerf and became the second most worst general in the game, second only to Zarik, he got a damage buff to 30, and I think that's incredible. That's a really good payoff. Hopefully he'll be used a lot more now, although I doubt it. I mean, he takes 45 seconds to build. Atreyos actually takes 5 extra seconds to train over a giant. So you know, considering he costs 900 gold and 200 mana, I still feel like another buff is needed. I think it's fair to just buff his health to 700. I really do think so. Given that he takes the longest to train out of, I think, all the units in the game, right? Never mind, Zarik takes the longest to train. 60 seconds, good lord. But we're getting off track here. Atreyos got a damage buff, and Xiphos got a massive health buff. I believe his previous health level was 350. They increased it to 500. That's amazing. And you know what we have to do now that Xiphos got a health buff. We need to take this newly buffed general to the Sickle Bear level and play it on Insane. Oh, what? It gave me Kaichu? No, I don't want Kaichu. This ain't about you, Kaichu. You kidding me? Get out of here with your still overpowered ass. I want Xiphos, okay? Xiphos is the spotlight. Give me Xiphos. There we go. There's my boy. So check him out. 500 health. Gonna be incredible to see how much more powerful he is now that he got this huge health increase. Now on this level, the Sickle Bear boss has a health level of 650. So he still has a higher health level than Xiphos by 150. But that doesn't mean you should count Xiphos out. I think he's going to be much more deadly on this level and should have no problems here. Oh, check it out. The Spiritons on this level on Insane now have 585 health as opposed to what it was previously, which I believe was 520. So that's a pretty massive health increase on these Spiritons. But still, no problem for Xiphos. So that's going to take away about 2 health bars. So, I mean, oh, check this out. So Swordwrath with the health nerf now have only 1 bar of health. And it's weird seeing a Swordwrath like this. Well, then again, Stick War Legacy is like that. So I can't really say that for sure. But yeah, these guys definitely got a health decrease. And since Spiritons got buffed on their damage and health, I'm actually going to build a Spiriton. I want to give him a quick little test. So we'll throw a Spiriton into the queue, and then we need to kill this Archodon. Oh, those Sickle Wrath are coming in. Damn, so I'm kind of dead. We're going to have to throw a Lightning Storm down. Xiphos is going to defeat the weaker soldiers, but against that Spearton, he's going to have a much worse time, and he's going to get defeated here, unfortunately. But I do have my own Spearton. So my damage to heavy units is still kind of trash, but then again, this Spearton is shielding, so he's taking 3 less damage than me. Yeah, that took so much effort to kill that freaking Spearton. Alright, I know those Archidons are already here, so you know, we're just gonna mass garrison to this. Mass garrison and then just continue to queue swords. And yeah, we'll stay garrison and let them kill this. At Xiphos, I know he's gonna be returning shortly, so we will anticipate his re-arrival. Hopefully the castle just can kill this Spearton before he comes back. And look, yeah, they're definitely going to. Castle archers are still freaking damage dealing demons in this. Alright, so there's Xiphos again, and we'll bring our Spearton back out so we can use him to tank against the enemy Archidons that are coming up. Alright, here they are. Let's go get them. Xiphos decides to... Oh, there we go. Now he's joining the party. I was wondering when he was going to. So here we go. We're against these 4 Sickle Wrath, and my god, we absolutely crushed them. But we need to garrison the Sword Wrath. I said garrison the Sword Wrath. Oh yeah, that volt. I hit the whole command, damn it. Yeah, the voltaic damage is going to be a lot more lethal on this for Sword Wrath, considering their health nerf. Voltaic damage is going to be like their freaking nightmare. So this is the part where the leader shows up, and Xiphos has like a lot of health. He has all the health in the world to deal with that leader, so I'm not worried about it. So here he is. Xiphos is coming up. Oh my god. Yeah, there he goes. He's dead. And we won. Wait a minute. We don't face the extra 2 waves now? So they changed it to where when you defeat the Sickle Bear boss, you win the entire thing. Well, I guess it's gotten back easier again. Alright, so today we're going to be post-commentating a match that I recently had. This is against Zortsil. I probably rejected your name and I'm sorry. I'm just going to call you Z. I'm just going to call you Z, okay? I'm not good at names. But anyway, we played a match. And this is not your standard bring 2 units and then bring the rest spells and enchantments kind of bullcrap deck. No. The decks we built consisted of all units. So this was 100% strategic, okay? Spells don't determine strategy. Let's just put that on the line. But anyway, we're going to spectate this match because this is an observation of all of the balance changes that happened and just seeing them in action. Now again, spells in a normal situation, like in a normal ranked setting where spells dominate the freaking meta, this would turn out differently, but in this case, it's just purely units. So Z is running Spiriture with Toxic Death, Merrics, and Giants. And my deck consists of every single unit that got some sort of balance change. Actually, I'm lying. This deck did not include Merrics, but I chose to bring Giants Monstrosity over Merrics. And plus, you still get to see Merrics in action because my guy Z had us covered. So anyway, starting things off, I have my Sword Wrath here at tower. Sword Wrath are now going to be a lot more susceptible to Archidons. They have to respect Archidons a lot more because, as you can see, unless you're good at dodging shots, your Sword Wrath can die pretty freaking easily. So I don't see... I predict a less chance of people going Sword Wrath heavy in the early game. Now I say this when Mass Heal and Snow Squall is a thing in this game. So I don't want to just say, oh, Sword Wrath massing is going to be obsolete now. It's not going to be. What makes Sword Wrath massing still broken is the fact that they can still leap attack and spells. Literally Snow Squall, Mass Heal, Projectile Barrier. All three of those spells support Sword Breath spam to the T. But in this case, in a setting where spells are not a thing, Sword Breath have to be a lot more respectable. So you can see I pull out the early Spearton. Meanwhile, he's preparing for an early Toxic Dead. Now check this out. I didn't say this, I forgot to mention this in my last video, but Toxic Dead's got a health nerf. Now they have 3 bars of health like they do in Stick Empire, so this looks like the ideal Toxic Dead. So I killed his Archidon, I'm holding tower now. And he's running in with that Toxic Dead, so I thought, you know what, let's just rush in. Now, he has the Voltaic Projectiles on top of that Poison, so that debuff damage is going to be just devouring the health on my Sword Breath. But we take a Toxic Dead, I say that was worth, but now he has his own Spearton. Luckily for me, I have my Toxic Dead setup going on as well. Now you'll get to see Xiphos and Atreyos in action here, since I decided to bring those 2 generals. And I must say, their buffs make them pretty decent. Now, unfortunately, they can still get stunned, even though it was mentioned that they would no longer be stunned. I'm not sure why they're still getting stunned. I did notice that they have a faster recovery time, but they still get knocked down from stun attacks. So, I don't know. Hopefully something like that will be addressed in the future. I'm pretty sure it is. This game is in beta, so you know, I'm not going to just assume that that's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure it is. So right now it's a bit of an even game. He's setting up a small Toxic Dead mass. I find it interesting that he's choosing to mix Archidons along with it, but it is strong because in an instance where you can't have your Toxic Deads catch up to a fight, Archidons will cover that. And when you need to retreat, well, Toxic Deads can be used to frontline and tank for the retreating archers. So as you can see, I have Xiphos on the way. You get to see the buffed Xiphos in action, and he has a Merrick that's about to come out. Now it doesn't look like anything changed on her health bar, but she definitely did get a 50 HP nerf. Oh, we're in the middle of a fight. So there you go, you can see I have Xiphos in action. So I send that Spiriton away to Garrison, and this is what's perfect. Toxic Deads can only do 8 damage to light units, so I figured, you know, I can run in with Xiphos and he will tank against those Toxic Deads much better. And that fight allowed me to come out on top, where I used Xiphos as a temporary tank, and it looks like he did get away to heal, which is good. So there's the Merrick shield. You already know how I feel about that. And thankfully, you know, he didn't abuse it all. See, Z here is a guy who doesn't like the meta. As you can see, he literally has meta rejector in his name, and hey, I gotta give you massive respect for that. So this is where the buff Spiriton damage comes in perfectly, because I'm able to kill that Merrick. Although, did they always used to do 15 light units? I suddenly can't remember now. I think the damage only got increased against heavy units, not to light units. I don't know, I would have to think back on that. But I think Spiritons could always deal 15 damage to light units. I don't think anything changed about that. Can't remember. But here we go, we have Atreyos. Now with his ability to do 30 damage with an extra 5 to light. 30 to heavy, 35 to light isn't bad. So you'll get to see him in action as well. So he's a bit behind right now, but I mean, he has the opportunity to catch up. With this Toxic Dead health nerf, one can't just simply run in with an army of Toxic Deads and think they're going to win the entire game off of that. Toxic Deads are tanky. They're meant to be able to hold on for themselves for a decent amount of time. But even Toxic Deads need tanks. This was especially true in Stick Empires and OVC games. Juggernauts were severely important for Chaos players. Sure, the Toxic Deads could hold off on their own for a while, but again, they were susceptible, they were vulnerable. And I think this health nerf on these Toxic Deads for Stick War 3 is now properly applying this, because In the past, before the health was nerfed, you could run in with like a ton of toxic deads and tank forever with them. Like, it was ridiculous, especially with Rune of Reanimation, which boosted them to 5 bars of health. This time, if you get Rune of Reanimation, you will boost the toxic deads back to their pre-nerfed health state of, I believe, 300 health. Yeah, 300. So here we go. He has his first giant. Looks scary, right? Well, guess what? I have a giant out too, and I had the monstrosity. The monstrosity was my trump card. And here's an instance where the trump card actually played out. So I figured, you know what? He's running with the giant right now. Let me run past it with Xiphos and target his backline. This is where Xiphos turned out to be perfect for targeting backline units like Merrick's. Now, unfortunately, he gets defeated here, but Atreyos is now coming up to take his spot. I killed his giant, and now I am on the move here. He has a poison Archodon, and that Merrick may not be able to save it. Actually, it will. The poison damage is taking actually a long time, and he has another Merrick there, so those Archodons are saved. And he's picking up a second giant, but I mean, the monstrosity is just too good in my particular case. So here we go. I'm now running in to put in some harassment. Oh, never mind. It looks like I back up here. Probably because of how painful his castle archers are. There is one teeny tiny problem I have. It's with the castle archer range boost. If you have a group of toxic deads trying to retreat, like say they lost a battle and the toxic deads are retreating to get away, they kind of get destroyed by castle archers. And the same thing kind of applied in Stick Empires, where getting all 3 castle archers for order, oh my god, it was insanely powerful. But I don't know, just a small complaint. But again, the castle archers needed to get these buffs because eco sniping was such a horrible thing. So here we go, we got heavy armies coming in from both sides. So I decided, you know what, let me just use Xiphos to target his backline. I wanted to take out his Archodons, but I figured, you know what, let me just hit his toxic deads, since they're vulnerable to this kind of damage now. And you saw right there Atreyos getting stunned, even though it was stated that generals would not be stunned anymore. So I find that a little bit confusing, but both generals do end up getting defeated, so they're gonna have to retreat. But thankfully, Xiphos and Atreyos, their combination of tanking power with these 2 Spiritons, allowed the giants to be able to not take a lot, and now I have maxed out monstrosity giants. And as long as I continue to get gold, then I can afford more giants to my heart's content. So we'll just fast forward at this part. Also, I think statues may have gotten a health buff, because you can see it's taken a lot of effort to chip the statue down. It was able to stall long enough for his castle archers to kill my giant. And here he's trying to forward kite me, but I thought, you know what? Let's just turn around and quickly kill that toxic dead. But here's what I'm talking about. These guys are very slow at getting away, and it's gonna cost me a couple of deads. And yeah, it's pretty much game over for him at this point. All he has now are 3 Merricks, and he's trying to load a couple of Spiritons, you know, give himself a chance to come back. But at this point, my army is too strong, and I can just recycle giants. And I have Atreyos and Xiphos about to return. Xiphos is there, and Atreyos is just taking his sweet time. But yeah, like I said before, I can just queue nothing but giants and just recycle giants to the point that I can destroy the statue. But anyway, there you go. These are the new balance changes in action. Now again, this is a game without spells, and it turned out to be very enjoyable. This is what Stick War 3 is meant to be about. Not, oh hey, let me just bring Snow Squall, Mass Heal, Projectile Barrier, and win off of that. It's literally just, hey, click this button to win. That's quite literally what it is. But again, the game's in beta. I'm not trying to say, oh, this is, you know, doomsday for Stick War 3 or anything. It's just, I think this is how games are meant to be. Like maybe adding a no spells mode and a no usage control mode just for those players that want to feel that Stick Empire's feel of this game. You know, user control didn't turn out to be very overpowering either in this case, because the fact that there were no spells to make fights extremely one-sided. But anyway, that'll be all for this video, and unfortunately I'll have to jump into ranked to test out these new balance changes and probably get destroyed by mass healed snow squall crap. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video.